Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for the last match of the quarterfinals. It is just getting underway now between the USA and England. That's a lie. It's USA and Ireland for this game, and it should be a very exciting one. Go USA, says Tesla for that one. And at the moment, the USA, they will be kicking off this game, and their starting lineup, Schroeder, Brown, it's still Nuia, Baker, Kevin Williams, and then LeCamp as their starting lineup. Then for Ireland is McNulty, Awanusi, sorry. Then also McDonald, Kennedy, Lennox, Kilgallen. Hopefully I said that correctly. And then also it is going to be Shea Mullins. But we have got those lineups down the bottom from Sebastian as well. I do appreciate you, mate. But now this one will be for whoever will face New Zealand in the next stage of the semi-finals. And that game is going to be taking place in only about an hour and a bit's time. Should be a very entertaining one. And we will be covering it on the channel. Currently a penalty in favour of the Irish here. Terry Kennedy, he'll be a bit nervous because right on his tail, it's Corey Toole for the leading try scorer. Someone's actually currently down. I think he might have gotten a little bit of a poke in the eye, but some of the times of these games will be a lot different. Like this game initially was going to be played at 5:30 p.m. and now this game is being played at 5:53 or somewhere around there. But they are just showing that man there on the screen. Owanusi. Ireland currently sitting 6th in the rankings. Fiji, they will be working their way up a little bit more since they have been able to make it to that semi-final up against the Australian. Also, we have got their USA, and there it says Austin, and that one as well, or Austin maybe. And also remember to hit the like button, says Lord. You heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button down the wing here. It is going to be a good run forward, just able to keep himself in the field of play, but throws the ball straight into the hands of the US, and now they have been able to get it back. It's a rough back line, or kind of a rough regather there, actually, for Terry Kennedy, who's now got his hands on the ball, using the back line here. They will be trying to find someone in the midfield that they can link up with. Currently a good run forward from, it was their number 2 in this one, which is Matthew McDonald. I have to check the names every once in a while. Going straight through there, and Lennox goes in, and that will be his try for the match. Goes over, and USA has 10. By 10 is my prediction. Also has Perry Baker or Carlin Isles playing for the USA. Neither of them in the starting lineup. And actually, now that I look at it, Perry Baker is there, but Carlin Isles is nowhere to be seen. So Perry Baker's here, Carlin Isles, no. But that one, I coming at 6:20. And as I said, Brandon, I will probably be setting up those next live streams, seeing as there are plenty of matches taking place. Oh, that looks like another injury there. I want to say that might have been Nuia. It did look like he might have pulled up a little bit lame there after chasing down Lennox. And there's a nice try for the Irish. And they will continue to build their phase after phase when they get the opportunity to. Yep, something happened there in the leg for one of the USA players, and that is not good news. But now, not good news for them is the fact that Ireland are winning 7-0. And also, Isles is not even a reserve, it seems, says Sebastian. So, yeah, I don't know whether or not it is waiting for him. Oh, okay. Someone's getting their contact put back in at the moment, so you can use the phone to be able to see it. And also, I wonder if Katie will pop in. And there says Double the Mod, and also USA Sevens is great. Not sure what happened with the Union team, says Ed. I guess it's just less players to have to worry about in a way, and different, I guess, tactics. Like pure pace will get you so far in Union, but pure pace in Sevens, that just gets you another level above everyone else. That is quite the shiner that man has. Really rocking the big black eye. That one. And also, we have got the question for you, Hamish. What is your favourite Sevens, Rugby Sevens yesterday? I did enjoy. Or what one did I enjoy the most? Probably Samoa, England, or Samoa, Australia, just because we got to see Samoa back in action for the Sevens, which was absolutely awesome to see. Perry Baker taking that one nicely, getting held up there. Kevin Williams now looking for a gap. The USA, they're going to have to fire back relatively quickly here if they do want a good chance of being able to win this game. It is going to be actually Ben Brossield. So he is the one who came on the bench, or came off the bench, the replacement of the injury. Kevin Williams now passing it across to the hands of Fulham. Good run forward. Currently a little bit of a juggle there, almost on the ground. Now Maceo Brown. And come on, USA says that with them all. This is actually our first USA game that we've done in USA 7 player look like track and field. And there it says Ed Vogan, also New Zealand. Or did New Zealand win? They certainly did. They just beat Samoa in a close fixture. That's popped out the back. It's going to be now the penalty in favour of the Irish. They take the quick tap. The referee is in the way. And they were not quite on the mark. So they will have to wait a little bit longer. But 3.5 minutes left. Whoever wins this game will be facing New Zealand in the semi-final. Whoever loses it will be facing off against Samoa, which will not be an easy game for anyone. As the Samoans, they are very impressive in all of the matches that they have played so far. I've been thoroughly impressed with the way that they've played. And Fiji, they've seemed to found their momentum that they did have last time, which is also nice to see. Now waiting for the ball, almost able to turn it over. It was Nui, but unable to get their hands on the ball. Now Ireland trying to go around the outside. Nice flick on the inside there. They've just said that someone's nickname is the Mad Dog. I feel like you don't get the nickname the Mad Dog unless you are a bit of a, I guess, literally a mad dog. And I was at 22-14, but the game was closer than the score suggests. Exactly right. Like, that game was right down to the wire. As Joy and also we have got there a question for you, Irish. What is your favourite rugby 15s yesterday? Probably, I'd say Crusaders Hurricanes out of all of the games, just because it was kind of that closest one out of all of them. I know you now going to be going for this line. And also, this will be a New Zealand-Fiji final. Fiji always strong in Singapore. Says Austin. And yeah, tell you what, that final is going to be epic. Fiji versus New Zealand in the final. It will be taking place at 11:28 p.m. tonight. As in, Harry played for LA Giltinis. And there was, isn't Harry played for LA Giltinis? Isn't Harry? Who's Harry? I'm trying to think of Harry, and I can't quite think of Harry off the top of my head, but now it is going to be going to the short side here. Ireland doing very well with the defense, really trapping the USA inside of their own 22. Nuia goes across once again. Now almost a bit of a gap opening up here. It is going to be, and now Lecump, it's a foot race. Kennedy's trying to get him. He's lost his balance, but he somehow actually managed to cut him off. He hasn't fallen over, but now he makes it over the line anyway. And Terry Kennedy, what a chase that was. McNulty. And there was RCZ. New Zealand for sure going to be in the final. And South Africa lost, says Brandon. They certainly did. So now I believe the third and fourth place playoff game will be, it could be anyone really. It could be a rematch of USA versus South Africa perhaps. And I was like, no, sorry, it can't be. It will be Australia versus USA, I think. And it was Ari. And yeah, who's Ari? Says Sebastian. Yeah, I said it very English, didn't I? But nicely done by Lecump. He was able to score the try. Terry Kennedy, you'd have to wonder how tired his legs are now. He almost lost his balance, but somehow just kept that momentum of standing just enough to be able to kind of just survive that one has stopped falling over. And also, let's go the Yanks. And the last says that currently now 7-7 between these two sides. It will be Nuia who will once again be kicking off this one for Ireland or for the USA Tower. I'm having a shocker. I think I got too excited at the last two games, and now my brain has gone to sleep. I do apologize for that. It should be awake for the semi-finals, but it's just around the corner. Now it's going to be taken very nicely there for the USA. They've got this ball. Danny Schroeder goes back across. In fact, it's Joe Schroeder. Now loose ball there. Ireland trying to pounce on it. And the USA still just hanging on to that ball. It's a penalty there, and also try. And I see Perry Baker take off like a rocket in there. And at the moment, he's lurking next to the breakdown, so maybe he does get that opportunity at some point soon. But this is to work out who will be playing New Zealand in the semi-final and who will be playing Samoa in the next playoff game. As they have got the 5th and the 8th semi-final, which does actually mean we still get to see another game for 2 of the sides at this stage, I believe. Where is the 7th and the 8th final? I would have thought we'd have to have another 7th and the 8th final, but I don't think they actually do have a 7th and an 8th final. Once South Africa lost yesterday to USA, I knew this wasn't their tournament as well, says Austin in that one. And yeah, it just looked like it just didn't quite go right for the split spots. But the good news is, they're going to be back. Next week, it's going to be in Vancouver. They loved Canada last time, and it should be an awesome one. We are going to be covering all those games, or every game that we physically can on the channel. Joe Schroeder now passes it back across as well. He used to have the mullet for the Olympics. He got rid of it. It just doesn't look the same without it. Now, it's going to be Kevon Williams having to go sideways. The USA really having to go backwards to go forwards in this situation. Every single time, the USA are just getting forced back about 20 meters, still going backwards. Now, Marcio Brown finds the offload up. We haven't seen Perry Baker in space as of yet. That's going to be a penalty there to the USA. Okay, they are going to go again. Hey, guys, it's RC's over, and also I've got I'm very busy. Sorry, I can't come for the next 3 games, but I'll see you at the final as well. So we'll see you later on, Brandon, for that one. And also, evening Obi, Marcio Brown, or Marcio. Well, they took a big chunk out of the turf with that tackle. And this turf, it was looking so pristine at the start of the competition. It's going to look pretty rough by the end of it, I would think. More likely. But Argentina versus South Africa, for anyone who doesn't know, about that 5th and 8th semi-final. That is going to be taking place it will be 7:29 p.m. is when that one is taking place, although those times might change due to the delays that we have had throughout the day. With any time a game goes to Golden Point, that kind of ruins any chance they've got of being able to stick on schedule. Now passed out the back to the hands of now Perry Baker. Quickness personified, and he's going to score the try, Perry Baker. He was considering going a little bit closer to the post, but that is what you wanted to see, and he has just done just that. Perry Baker taking off like a rocket. 4th try in Singapore. And the USA score it. Just found out Harry McNulty went to Uni of Queensland in 2015. Says Ed Vogel. It's quite a few people that, like, when you kind of work out where they were, like, I know that there's a couple players. In fact, Ire Simoni is one that comes to mind. He played first 15 rugby with Jack Goodhue, and now he is playing in Australia, trying to get himself possibly a Wallabies cap in the future. But Perry Baker running hard. Oh. They chicken? No, they weren't chicken something. I heard a little bit of noise. Oh, that was a decent strike of the ball. It was a New Year, but it was always going to be a tough one. And I was aware that the Fiji-Australia game will be down to the wire. Says Augustine. Yeah, it certainly will be. Oh, sorry, Austin. Should they man the fastest player in boots? And there's Tesla Perry Baker. He's very good. That is for sure. But currently the USA, they have got themselves a 12-7 lead going into the halftime break. Currently 2 tries for the USA, 2 visits to opposition 22 for both sides. And then the carries, they've actually had double the carries for the USA, Perry the Rocket. And there's Sebastian. 3 offloads from the USA. That's something that they will need to use in their game up against New Zealand if they do win, because New Zealand, if you can get them a little bit less structured, that is when you can really find your gaps. They've only missed 1 tackle, but the Irish, they have made 10 tackles in their first one. And man, is that an ice cube? Oh no, that's his mouth guard. Restarts currently. They have had 2 for the USA, so they've had more of the possession, but it's whether or not they can make the most of it in the second half. Terry Kennedy there. I always find it funny when they kind of have the team huddle and they let them mic them up and then they swear and everyone goes, hang on, that wasn't supposed to happen. I was waiting to see whether or not the USA coach was also going to swear, but it's like, if you put it in the Irish huddle, what do you expect them to say? Other than like a swear word every third kind of word or so. Now, Kevin Williams, how many minutes left? We have got the second half left of this fixture. The USA currently with a 5-point lead over the Irish. The next game, like I mentioned, that we are going to be covering on the channel. Who knows? Maybe we might be able to squeeze in Spain versus Kenya if we're lucky. But more than likely it will be Argentina, South Africa. Then from there, Samoa. They have got their game up against the loser of this match. Then Australia, Fiji as the semi-final. That is at 8:13 New Zealand time. And then it will be 8:35 for New Zealand's semi-final fixture against the winner of this matchup. Going to be kicking this one off now for the Irish to get the second half of this match underway. It is retained by Ireland, although it's a little bit loose at the back. Okay, Jordan Conroy still on the bench, they are mentioning. He is waiting till the later stage, and also we've got there exclusive thoughts from the Irish. Still didn't. And also Ireland have vastly improved this year, says Austin. They have. They've been looking very strong. And the thing is, to get a win over Fiji was huge for them. And I feel like it's only up from there. Like, you're looking at a team that are now ranked 6th, and I feel like they're not too far off there, even with the other sides making their way back in an Irish huddle. Injure Perry Baker and all will lose. I mean, the problem is, so you're probably going to injure about 5 of the USA players to have half a chance of being able to stop that pace. Because if it's not him running quick, Kevin Williams, underrated pace. When you're next to Perry Baker, of course, the name on everyone's mind is Perry Baker with the pace. But Kevin Williams is quick as well. And then Carlin Niles, he's not there for this game, which is probably a good thing, or else then you just got pure pace everywhere. Marcio Brown, he's got some pretty good pace when he gets going. Kevin Williams trying to step around. It's going to be the penalty now for USA, only about 40 meters out from their line. I believe they might look to slow this down and kick it into touch here for New Year. And they do indeed. And also Faf de Klerk is linked to play with the Red Hurricanes next year. I just read it somewhere earlier. Do you think Japan Rugby is the new anticipated for overseas player? I think it is the good option because you do get paid very well. And also they do say that the rugby that they play is very fun because it is fast-paced. It's pretty much Southern Hemisphere rugby played in the Northern Hemisphere type thing. Yeah, I think a lot of players do like the opportunity of being able to earn a big paycheck while also playing some free-flowing rugby. Because I know that some players are hesitant to go to France because it is the opposite of that. You know, it's more of the kicking territory game, trying to wear down your opponent in terms of, pretty much through that territory. Whereas Japan, it's just run the ball. They score, they score. If they don't, they don't. And you get another opportunity soon. It's going to be Dardis kicking this one for the touchline. Does curl it nicely. He's actually got some good distance on that one, Dardis. Now 40 metres out. The Irish, this is the second quarterfinal between these sides. Ireland winning in 2018 in London. So that was the last time these two sides played off in a quarterfinal match. It's quite a long time. And Dardis now throwing it into the front, taken nicely. Receives it once again on the halfway line now for Ireland. They haven't got Jordan Conroy. You have to wonder how late till they use him. That's going to be going backwards, they have said. And now the draw pass is opening up. Perry Baker, though, he'll be after. In fact, that is going to be Jordan Conroy. And no one's going to catch him because he's fresh as daisies. And that is going to be the try for Jordan Conroy. Now, every other time he has done a little dance celebration. Does he do it once again? I don't think he did. No, he didn't. He isn't celebrating just yet because they are just getting themselves back into this contest, but it is the try for Ireland. And Jordan Conroy down the wing. Perry Baker, he was always beaten for pace because he did start running that much later. Oh, Conroy he almost tripped himself over. I think that's why he didn't celebrate, because he knew that they might show the replay, show that he did trip over. That's a brilliant kick from Ireland as well, and that has gone over. And the score now is going to be 14 points to Ireland, 12 to the USA. And also, Christopher Young, what is your favourite question from me as well, says Brandon? There's been quite a few, so it'll be quite tricky to think of just the one. I think overall, and also Let's Go America, says David the Mod, and also French and Romanian are very alike. We revolve the tactics around kicking as well. Ball touch in the boot more than the hand, says Sebastian. I think that's why that Bulls game yesterday was so frustrating for Bulls supporters up against the Stormers, because they were playing a kicking game in a game that needed running rugby. And that's going to be another run here for Ireland. They're breaking their way down the wing. Conroy's got the ball again, backing himself for pace. Does he end up getting taken down on the outside? Dardis picks it up, gets back to his feet. And now I believe that's going to be a penalty advantage here. Must roll quicker is the comment there from the referee. You okay, 6? Just making sure that Dardis is going to be all right to continue this match for a little bit longer. And now I'm currently now. He looks puffed. One of the USA players. Who was that? I think that was actually Brazil, I think, if I'm not wrong. And also trying to snatch cheap meters, as we say. There's Sebastian. And yeah, sometimes it works very well, but other times it can kind of just cost you much needed position type thing. That's going to be just on the side. The ball is out, which meant the USA could have actually gone around the side and grabbed that ball. He's in touch on the short side there, where it was Gavin Mullen. And now the USA, they have got themselves another line out. 2 minutes left in this game. Currently, the subs are going to be made. This is a close game as well. All of the semifinals, other than that very first one, quarterfinals, other than Australia versus Argentina, have been very close fixtures. And he was just trying to get rid of that one, Kennedy. In fact, sorry, not Kennedy. It was Mullen just before he went into touch, but did not quite get it away. Now, 2 minutes left in this one. Going for the line out throw now. Straight to the front. It's taken nicely by Schroeder. It's available now for the USA, and Ireland really bringing it throughout their sevens journey, or their series journey now. It is going to be Nuya kicking this one for the touchline. Come on, Ireland. And there says Abdul Malik, although the USA now 10 metres out from their line, do have themselves their own penalty. We'll be trying to get plenty of meters on this, but also making sure that they do retain the position. They also got the winner will play New Zealand, the loser will play Samoa. I know who I would prefer, but that's only because one of them involves a semi-final. I think if you're playing Samoa, you're going to get whacked around a little bit. The same could be said about the Kiwis now. Backline movement starting to open up here for the USA. Flick on the inside to Perry Baker. One more pass off, and now this could be a big opportunity for the US. A little knock on. No, it's a penalty for the roll, and that is massive for Ireland, and Smith knows how much that means to the Irish chances of being able to make it through to the semi-final. And they might be meeting up against New Zealand, a little bit of a prelim of the Union games that are going to be taking place in July, perhaps. On the other side of the draw, it is going to be Australia versus Fiji. And then the other matches that we would see for that one will be very decent. And that one, and also there, your voice has held up like a champion, Pat's vocal cords. And as I mentioned, it's actually like surprising that it doesn't sound absolutely dreadful. And I have no idea how, because I did some maths and I knew it would be a lot, but we did 13 and a half hours worth of being live on the channel yesterday. Not just like in terms of scheduled, like in terms of counting the breaks in between. That was 13 and a half hours live, which was huge. That's a big run from Ireland. Now, currently 13 seconds left. I believe they would just look to kick this ball into touch if they do get the opportunity. How long since Ireland joined the Sevens Rugby? I think they've been in there quite a wee while. He wasn't quite on the mark there for Smith. Takes a quick dab now, and they are only a couple meters out from the line. They just want a little bit of insurance to say that they are able to go over the top. That is the penalty to Ireland. And now I believe they can just take the quick dab and kick this ball dead. Offside, it's a yellow card for the USA. And that will be, I believe, Marcio Brown, who does go off there. But yeah, at some stage, I guess the good news for Ireland is the fact that they were never part of the Great British side. So they've always had their own, I guess, development. Taking the tap, kicking it into touch. Ireland through to the semi-final to take on New Zealand and USA. They will have the monumental task of taking on the Samoans. And also for New Zealand, US brings the challenge while the Irish will either compete or combust. Most likely, says Sammy Souza, but that is going to be the end of this last quarter-final. So I'm not sure about times of the next games because they will probably all end up changing a little bit due to, I guess, the fact that they're a little bit delayed currently. And I don't think they haven't allowed for any delays, which was not smart from them. And never underestimate any team, bro. And this is doing exactly right. Like Ireland, they are looking strong at the moment, and their coach is very happy with them. The USA coach, he's still happy enough with his side, of course, and also being a part of the Sevens series since 1999, so a good 20 plus years now in there. But there we go. And also, I feel I feel sorry for your voice doing the Rugby World Cup 2023, says Lord. Yeah, it's going to be challenging, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be an awesome competition, that is for sure. So Australia versus Fiji, that is the first semi-final. Second semi-final, it is going to be New Zealand versus Ireland. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back in about an hour or so's time for our next matchup. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for their next one coming up very, very soon for the semi-finals. And also, I believe the ones we are covering before the semi-finals will be the playoff games, starting with either Spain versus Kenya, or it will be Argentina taking on South Africa. But we will see you all for the next one.